Hey there, you guys. This is going to be part 2 of the Zodiac monthly reading for um, all 12 signs for children. Okay, so for September 2017. So that I'm going to start with Libra and I'm going to end with Pisces. Okay, so we're going to do Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. Alright, so this is for Libra's Sun, Moon, and Rising children. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so overall energy we have is by the book. Okay, so your children are very, I feel like they're very intelligent, but they're very observant to certain things. They're picking up and recording things, I feel, in their mind, and they're picking up information. Could be a very busy month as far as studies. It could be a big project that they're working on. Could be very focused on school and accelerating and succeeding in something in school, maybe trying to keep up good grades. Even they're very focused on their studies. I feel they could be doing like a project about their family's history or something in regards to some historic, something that they're studying. Could be in relations to animals. The children may love National Geographic or Animal Planet. I feel like your child is very intelligent, very inquisitive, some of them. The challenge for them is unfinished symphony. So the challenge for them is that I feel like there has been some conversations that they want to share with you or have with you that they feel like they can't talk about to some of you. They may have a desire to learn music. If they're already musically inclined, you might already know about this. They may be struggling with their voice or struggling with reading music. Or something like that. I feel they have a gift of music and they may want to be singers. Some of them may be afraid to share that they have this gift or that they want to pursue music or write music, dance. They're just feel like very outgoing. This little girl, or this, it looks like a little girl, but it kind of looks like a woman. I feel like you might have a child that likes like teeny bopper singers like Melanie Martinez or something. They might aspire to be like her. Or kids just, you have a spunky, very outgoing, very unique, eccentric type of child that's interested in music, and I feel like they're not sharing that with you. They might have problems with speaking or singing. Okay. What Spirit is suggesting that they do is deep knowing. So there's something intuitively that they're being guided to do or say or pursue. They have a lot of wisdom. They're very intuitive as well. And I feel Spirit is telling them to follow their intuition, okay? Follow their dreams even, with the deep knowing card. Okay, so where their focus is going, where their focus needs to be that's going to be helpful, they need to focus on the chaos and conflict. So in what way are they beating themselves up or being too critical or too harsh of themselves, or maybe insecure or not being authentic? I feel like they need to look at that. Okay. And then we have the conclusion card is Treasure Island. So I feel like they're going to slowly step out and share their gifts. I feel they're going to slowly but surely start to feel comfortable with their family and with their friends or their peers, or maybe they sing in front of their friends, but they might be shy to sing or dance in front of you, or might fear that you're going to judge them, or they might only share with their family and they're afraid to share it with the school, sign up for that talent show. That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm just getting like this person is very like special when it comes to music. Like they can write music, they can read music, they might be able to play instruments, even sing, dance, something musical. So what is your advice as a parent? You have 5 of Earth as your advice, and you have fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. So you may be going through a tough time right now, and that could be what their issue here is. You might not be able to afford singing lessons or piano lessons or something. Like you might not be able to provide something for them in this area, and you could be a little bit too harsh on yourself. You might not want to add any more you know, stress to your child or add any fear to them because you have your own situations happening. And it might not just be money, but it could be other things that you're stressed out about, your health, you know, your home, you know, something, and you don't want to carry that with your child. You don't want to do that. And I feel like they have an awareness that you might be struggling. I feel like they would completely understand, because it's something that hinders their studies or progressing with some sort of project or something, I feel. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to Scorpio children. All right. So this is going to be for Scorpio children, Sun, Moon, and Rising for September 2017. So let's get into it. So I'm seeing like wherever your kids are, they're having a blast, and I get that some of them do not want to come home. So it's like they might be like at camp or something. They could be on vacation with another parent, grandparents. Could be slumber parties or spending time or daycare, even summer school. Like these, your kid does not want to come home. Like they're having a blast. I feel like they're having so much fun. They could be visiting near the ocean. Could be the beach or something. Islands. They're just having a great time, I feel. So I'm going to get into it. So they have Treasure Island as their overall energy. So they're definitely enjoying themselves. They may not, if they're at home, they may like to swim a lot and they just don't want to get out of the pool. They enjoy the water. They enjoy the beach or something, and they're having a blast. I feel like they're just enjoying where they are within themselves. If they're in school, they're even enjoying school so much. Like they're just, and they might have had to slowly adjust to wherever they are, whether it's school or vacation or something. They might have not been open at first, but they just feel in their element. They're starting to adjust to their surroundings, and they're having a good time. They are. I feel like they're in a good energy. The challenge energy for them is between worlds. So there's like, I have so much fun over here, but then I don't want to go back here. So there's something that they don't want to go back to, okay? So they might have so much fun at school that they're like, oh, I'm dreading going home. I don't want to go home. Or I love spending my time at my grandma's house just swimming all day. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go to school the next day or whatever. It's something that they're dreading. Because they're having fun in this element, especially if there's water involved, because of course they're water signs, they're Scorpio, so they like water. So if there's a lot of swimming involved, going to the beach, going to water parks, they could be like, I don't want to go home, I don't want to leave, I enjoy this. Somewhere where they feel like they can be themselves. If it's not water, it's somewhere where they feel like they can be themselves, and they dread the opposite of that. They don't want to go back here or go there. So that's a challenge for them, I feel. But it's not a big deal, obviously. Their suggested approach is happy, happy. So Spirit's telling them to continue to pursue that happiness, continue to like move with that energy that they're in, because it's just so much lighthearted energy, so much playfulness, so much serenity and peace I'm getting from them. So Spirit wants them to continue to approach that energy, that vibe, because there's so much more happiness that can open up and good vibrations for them on the other side. Could be birthday parties coming up too. So let them go, let them have fun, because they're really, I feel like it's school. Like you might not think, like ever think that they would have fun at school, or they might have had like a fear of go back to school or something, but then they find out it's not so bad, and it's like they don't ever want to leave or something. I feel they might get invited to some parties this month. I feel like just let them go, because they're going to have so much fun. They want to be around their friends as much as possible, or around other children. Okay, so where their focus needs to be, that's going to be of their highest good, they have come to the edge. So they need to just continue to follow their bliss and step out of their comfort zone, because I feel like it might have been an adjustment slowly for them to get into the space that they're in. Like I said, I feel like they might have been hesitant in the beginning. So just taking more leaps and following their bliss and being happy, what makes them feel good, and just be their authentic self too, is really going to help them shine and help them feel comfortable. The conclusion is exchanging gifts. So it could even be their birthday coming up. September really, I think, is Virgo. Yeah. So it could be other birthdays, or very well could be their birthday if they're like a moon or rising Scorpio. But otherwise, it could just be that they feel like they belong, and I feel like they feel very good. They feel like overjoyed, if that's even a word. And birthday parties, that keeps coming up. Birthday parties, baby showers, like they just want to be amongst people for some reason. And they're having a good, they might even have been shy kids, and it's like a 360, definitely. Okay, so what's your advice as a parent? You have life experience with Archangel Chamuel. It says a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. So this is all divinely inspired, and I feel like you should definitely encourage them and support them in stepping out of their comfort zones, being their authentic self, spreading their wings, having as much fun as possible. Something could have been a situation that, like, maybe you guys had a serious talk, or maybe you had to literally pull them out of the car and tell them that it's okay to start school. Like, don't cry, it's okay, get on the airplane, don't cry, visit, spend the night with your cousins, or something that happened, and they were like dragging their feet, and now it's did this 360, and now they're just a totally different person. And Spirit wants you to encourage them to keep stepping out and being who they are and having fun, keeping them social. So that's what I'm getting for Scorpio children. Now I'm going to move on to the Sagittarian children. All right, so this is going to be for Sagittarius children, Sun, Moon, or Rising for September 2017. So let's get into their energy. Okay, so this child is, like, I feel very active, very inquisitive. When I was shuffling the cards, for some reason, I felt like they might be taking over the TV a lot, because there might be something that they just can't get enough of watching, and it's something educational, at least to them. Could be Animal Planet, it could be National Geographic, it could be some sort of cartoon with animals or something. Something about it is like educational, inspires them, just spikes their interest. Like, they cannot take their eyes off of it. And you might get a little bit annoyed by it, but I feel like this child, they're taking something out of this program that they're watching. And it may not even just be TV, it could be that they're reading a lot. They have an interest in animals. Could be elephants specifically, but I feel like they love animals. They are, may have a lot of children's books with animals, stories with animals. They like magazines with animals. And they might spend all day doing that, and they might neglect other important things, especially if you give them chores or they have homework that they have to do. They may be prone to neglect that. With the challenge, they have breathe, so they may not be settling down. They could be very hyper, even though that they're watching TV. It's like they're all over the place. They're not structured. You can't get them to settle down. For some of them, if they're teenagers, they don't want to study. They don't want to do their homework. They just want to lazy around. They don't want to do their chores. They may not want to come home after school, They may need a tutor for some of them. But they're having a hard time with just relaxing, or too much relaxation for some of them. The suggested approach is building blocks. So I feel like as a parent, there may be that you have to set some ground rules. Maybe you kind of just leave it up in the air for them to clean up their room whenever. Maybe you need to set a time and a date that they have to have their room clean, or like their laundry. You got to have this done. Your homework needs to be done by this time. Something like that. There needs to be some ground rules. TV time is from this time to that time. You can watch TV at this time on this day. There needs to be some sort of structure with them, I feel. So they need to approach whatever they're doing with structure and balance, because I feel like they're just up in the air. They're just doing whatever. They're Sagittarians. They're very smart, but they can also be like just here and the next. They're gone, with whatever they're doing. They don't really stay focused too long. If it doesn't interest them, they're not going to stay focused. I call them the ADHD kids. But the focus that's going to be beneficial for them is Treasure Island. So maybe you need to entice them with, like, you know, money if you do your chores, if you do this or that, you know, entice them with toys or money or something, or some sort of treats. Like, if you do this, you can stay up later or whatever. They need to focus on what can I actually earn or achieve? What can I get out of this? I remember in school, we used to have a treasure chest in class. Like, if we did something very good, if we had a certain amount of points, at the end of the week, we can go in the treasure box based upon how many points we have. We can pick out something in the treasure box. So it could be something that you can do, especially with kids. Kids like stuff like that. I feel like that will also teach them responsibility and structure. For teenagers, of course, you want to bribe them with money. Maybe even help them to save up for vacation. For some of them, that might entice them even more. So they need to focus on what they can gain, but they also need to play ball with the parent, of course. Then we have the conclusion, which is why. So the reason this child is, I feel like they're trying to discover something within themselves, okay? Like I said, they like educational stuff, some of them. For the teenagers that just don't want to fool with anything, any books, anything educational, just want to lazy around, I feel like you need to figure out why that is. Dive deeper, and I feel like you will find out why your child is behaving in a certain way that they have this month. So the advice for you is balance. You have the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So that's enough said. Spirit's really wanting you to bring some balance into the situation. But also there needs to be cooperation and compromise from the children and on your end. Because it needs some balance in your home, I feel. Okay. So definitely come up with a plan for them that will work for you and for them, okay? All right, so that is for Sagittarius children. Now I'm going to move on to Capricorn kids. All right, welcome. This is going to be the reading for Capricorn children, sun, moon, and rising for the month of September 2017. So let's go ahead and get into the energy. All right, so for the children, the overall energy for the Capricorn is new life. So I see that there's definitely some significant changes that's happening, maybe even karmic changes, whether it's within them or just with you, you know, and they're being affected by it, because I feel like there's definitely some changes happening. Could be you have a new job, a new child, marriage, moving, a new school, something, but I feel like it's a positive change and positive new life. This child may be a little stressed or overworked by this new change, or it's been a long time coming, you know, whatever this is. The challenge is regeneration. So I'm just getting like this child may feel very fatigued, very tired for some reason with all of this change that's happening to them. Like they just feel burned out. But little do they know that, you know, underneath the surface there's something positive that's happening, that this change is for a good purpose. So maybe very, very overworked, very tired. With, to be fair, as the suggested approach, I feel like they need to look at this as not a bad thing or a punishment or as injustice, but looking at it for what it is, which is a blessing. I really do believe that this is some sort of karmic cycle. Could have been a custody battle for some of you that this child had to be in the middle of, kind of deal with, and it was very stressful, very pulling on their energy. Could be other things. It could just be constantly having to move or not being in a stable home, switching schools a lot, but not seeing that wherever they are now and the changes that they had to go through is for a better, you know, bringing in a better situation. So where can they place their focus that's going to be beneficial? They have chopped wood. So they need to look at this as clearing away things that don't serve you guys, period. I feel like it's a, you know, family situation. You know, things that did not serve you all are now being cleared away, being left behind. So as a child, it's kind of hard to look at these things. It's kind of like adult perspectives in a way. So it's kind of hard to explain that to a child, but maybe break it down to them in a way that they can understand that these changes that we're making, these are going to be good for us. We're leaving some things that just aren't good anymore, you know, and we're moving on to something greater, something better. Then we have the conclusion card of serendipity. So I feel like they're going to see their luck turn around unexpectedly. They're going to be happy. I see a child in the backseat of a car smiling, like you guys are traveling somewhere, and they just start to feel happy. Maybe you break it down to them and let them know, like, we're moving to a new place and it's got this, it's got that. We're going to live here and we get to go here and do this and see all of these things. And I feel like it'll change their energy. There's some unexpected joy that comes in for them. Like I love this card. It's very playful. It's very like childlike and kind of Disney Pixar-ish type of energy. So I feel like they're going to end up turning around and seeing the blessing and being happy. Okay. All right. So what is the advice for you as a parent? You have 3 of air. It says great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. So might have been a very trying period for you. Okay, so whether you went through a divorce, like I said, maybe a custody battle, maybe you had to switch jobs, maybe a loss of a home, some sort of heartache that you suffered, and I feel like it is affecting your family as a whole, or this child specifically, and you are overcoming this, you're healing it. You notice how the baby Horus is leaning upon its mother, so some sort of family structure or dynamic might have been broken apart. Okay, someone might have, left you guys, or you guys got a divorce or separated or something, broken up, something happened, and this child is aware of it. But I feel like the situation is healing, so I feel like you need to forgive yourself, like the card says. You need to forgive yourself, and whoever else is involved, because you're carrying such heavy weight, and your child picks up on that, and you don't want them to be sad for you, okay? Because you can't help, life's challenges and things that just naturally happen. But it's going to end well, regardless. It's going to end well. All right, so that is for Capricorn. Now moving on to Aquarius children. Hello there. This is going to be for parents or guardians for Aquarius children, Sun, Moon, or Rising for September 2017. So I've already laid out the cards. Let's go ahead and get into it. So the overall energy for your child is deep knowing. So Aquarians are deep thinkers. They're very intelligent, geniuses, maybe even intuitive, this child. So your child is picking up some things intuitively, some inner guidance or something that they're aware of that's going on. And they might keep it a secret from you. They might not be telling you everything, might not be sharing their feelings, trying to, mask it and cover it up. But they definitely know something. They know something underneath the surface, I feel. Maybe you're not aware that they know something that you know, or they know something that maybe you just don't know, if that makes sense. But definitely some things being kept a secret or hidden from you. Their challenge is happy. So they're having a hard time with happiness right now. They're not feeling light, and it could be something that they're withholding from you, because she's wearing a blue dress, and blue for me represents spirit, but also communication. So there may be something that they are lacking, to communicate. They're, neglecting to communicate with you, or what they know, or how they feel about something, or about you, or about a situation. They're not willing to tell the truth about something, or why they may be unhappy. So something going on with them that they want to communicate, but they're having a difficult time doing so. And it could be, communicating their, their unhappiness in some way, or with a specific situation. The Spirit is telling them to approach the situation with truth be told. So I feel like Spirit wants them to share what they know. Don't especially share if they're feeling something, feeling unhappy, or not happy with the situation. They need to share this. They need to uncover the truth. Don't hide it. Don't mask it. They know something, and I feel like they're very right. They're very wise. They know what's going on within them. They know what's going on within the situation, and Spirit's encouraging them to tell the truth, to be open. The focus is why. So they need to focus on why it is that they want to share this information for some reason. Because she has a book here, and it's some very valuable information, has angel wings on it. So something divine about what it is that they want to share, something very significant, very key, that they're guided even. They're guided to share this. So they need to focus on the reason behind why they want to share this, okay? Maybe that will help them. Even if they're small children, give them the benefit of the doubt that they are intelligent enough to think about these things. Lastly, we end up with the conclusion, no place like home. So maybe they feel like they don't have a stable home, that they're always changing and shifting homes with the number 5 here. Maybe they feel like there's no stability in their life. Maybe they're tired of going back between this home and that home, whether there's 2 parents involved, or they just feel like things are just not structured. They don't have a healthy home. They don't have a 2-parent home for some of them. Maybe they feel like the parents are always arguing. They have to keep continuously switching schools or staying with other relatives. So I completely understand this, because it's kind of my situation right now. I have an Aquarius child, so I can kind of see where this is going. Let's see what the advice card is for the parents. We have 4 of water. It says missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities. So you could kind of be so caught up in your feelings and your emotions that you kind of miss what's going on with your child and what it is they want to share, because I feel like you both may be feeling discontent with where things are within your life. You know, maybe even depressed or sad. And Spirit wants you to open up and look at what's going on around you, okay? Pay attention to your child. Pay attention to their behaviors. You both are in a place of discontentment. So maybe, and it says boredom as well. So if you guys are very discontent with where things are, change it or do something together where it takes your mind off of the stress and the pain or the worries, whatever it is. Do something fun together, okay? Maybe they'll even break open what it is that they're dealing with or what they're holding, okay? So we're going to move on to the last sign, Pisces. Hello there. This is going to be the reading for Pisces children. So we're going to just go ahead and get into it. So this will be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of September 2017. So your child here, chopped wood card is the overall energy. So this child may be getting lazy. So your child may not want to clean up. They may not want to do chores, clean up after themselves is what I'm hearing. Maybe even make sure that they're clean, taking showers. Getting that they're a little depressed. They're in a dark stump right now. I'm getting, when I'm looking at these cards, there's something going on with the home that's imbalanced, not structured. And it could be something with the law. Your child may have a parent that's in jail, or there's a divorce or separation, some imbalances in the home, and it's causing them to kind of neglect their duties in home, because they kind of feel like, what am I doing this for? We don't have a home. You might stay with someone else and they might not feel like it's not your house, so why should I clean up? Or, I don't have a dad, or I don't have a mom, so why should I do this? Why should I do that? Kind of being defiant in that way, but it's coming from a place of hurt. If little kids, if they're not able to say that to you, I feel like that's what they're feeling. They're just not obeying. They're not, I hate the word obeying. Like, they're not taking care of their part in the household. To be fair, this is the challenge. So it could be that this is a karmic cycle that they're dealing with, and they're having a hard time with adjusting to this situation. And it could also be, like I said, some legal issues between you and the other parent, or someone else close to them. But it just screams imbalance and something to do with the law, I feel. It could be custody, something like that, divorces, that's affecting them. They're having a hard time with all of this, and they might see this one parent having to juggle everything on their own, and they just don't like that. For others of the kids, I feel like they could be helping out in the house more than they're supposed to, and it's like they might see the single mom or the single dad just carrying all the weight by themselves, and that angers them, makes them very upset. So their suggested approach is serendipity. Okay, I love this card. I feel like they need to approach the situation by looking at the blessings in disguise. I feel they're missing a lot of opportunities to also be a child, I feel. Because this is very playful energy. They may be missing that opportunity to just go out and play, to be around other kids. They're taking on too much stress, I feel, as a child, where they shouldn't. They may be sticking their nose in the business where they don't need to. They just need to focus on being a child and whatever it is that you require them to do, whatever responsibilities they have. Their focus is building blocks. So Spirit wants them to focus on grounding themselves, okay? Because I feel like they see you as a very strong parent. You've got it together. You're handling things on your own. They admire that. They almost they want to mold themselves to be like you, or mold themselves to be that second parent that they don't have. And as a child, that's that's sad, and that's unfortunate that they feel like they have to do that. A child shouldn't even feel or think that way, but I feel like that's their energy, and I feel like Spirit wants to focus on this because something about it is not balanced. And especially if you're having your children do this, like you're kind of putting on this weight that they have to be the man of the house or the woman of the house with you, co-parent with you in a way, kind of like they're your other half and they have to do certain things. Spirit's telling them that they need to focus on the imbalance of that, and I'm just feeling like to tell you also that that is not the way to go if that's the type of parenting you're having with your child. I don't ever like to give my advice, bring my ego into it, but I feel like that's what Spirit is trying to say, that there's something about it that's imbalanced. Then we have the soulmate card, which represents the conclusion. So at the end of the day, this child really loves you and adores you, and I feel like they want to be everything that you did not have, either as a child or you didn't have romantically. And I know that that sounds weird, but they want to be your companion. I don't see it in a perversion way. I see it as them wanting to be your companion and to be there for you and to love you and console you. I really feel, and they're going to continue to do that. And they also need to heal any imbalances when it comes to relationships, okay? That's something that they might need to address. Maybe you might need to have that conversation with them about this. You don't have to get into detail of why things are the way that they are in your love life, or why your parent isn't around, or why we're having a tough time, why we divorced, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to get into all of that, but there's some sort of conversation, important conversation that needs to be had. And also letting them know that it's not their responsibility to be that other half for you. They have to be a child. They have to experience being a child. They are too young to take on all of this. Okay, so what's your advice as a parent? You have 7 of water. It says a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Okay, so there's something that Spirit is telling you that you need to do, and it may be very hard for you to sit down with your child and tell them. There may be something you're guided to share with them. It's something very emotional. You're trying to weigh the pros and the cons of how you're going to approach this situation. What are you going to say? You're considering how they're going to feel. But Spirit's telling you to make a decision and don't procrastinate. That's what it says in the card. Stop procrastinating. So there's something that you know that you must do. Spirit's telling you to act on it, okay? All right, so that is the reading. I hope you all have enjoyed this reading. And I'm sending you guys the best of luck with your children. Much love and healing to you all. Much joy. And until the next month's reading, peace.